There you are. Welcome back to the latest installment of the most disturbing TikToks on the internet today. For context, don't believe everything you hear or see on this video. It's strictly for entertainment purposes only. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hype your boy up if you can, and let's dive in. Huge shout out to everyone that made it to the live last night. Man, we had a lot of fun. Y'all had y'all boy battling AI. Y'all wild for that one. But anyways, let's dive into this video. Agents chased after a cyclist after he claims he is not a U.S. citizen.
Hey, I'm not a U.S. citizen. No, yes. No, yes. Get him. Watch out, watch out.
Look how close he was. And as soon as they saw he was off guard, picking something up. Where is it? Right here. As soon as he was off guard, looking like he was picking something up, they was like, all right, look at my man. He goes into full marathon sprint mode. He catches it.
Get him. Watch out, watch out.
That is absolutely hilarious. And this is in Shalaga, by the way. You can see all the old world structures in the back. What is going on? Super Bowl halftime show got Bad Bunny. I never heard about this dude, but let's see what they saying about the new Super Bowl halftime performance artist.
It has just been released that Bad Bunny has been chosen to be the headliner for the NFL halftime show, you guys. I haven't heard much about Bad Bunny until just now. I started looking into him and instantly an obvious sellout. One of the first things I spotted was a Saturn tattoo. Red flag right off the bat. We're seeing it with Katy Perry, Kesha, Miley Cyrus, giving Saturn worship vibes a little bit. He's using one-eyed symbolism, taking pictures with pearls all over his face. What was it ZZ Top said about the pearl necklace? His behavior is literally mirroring everything we saw happen to Lil Nas X, with the one-eyed symbolism and acting possessed, dressing them up like they are gods of Greek mythology, having Bad Bunny chained and dancing for what looks like demons. Is any of this feeling familiar to you, or is it just me? And it's absolutely wild to me how the industry is getting guys to go from this to this. Looking at these pictures of him had my mouth on the floor. What it feels like to me is the industry is in a big hurry to replace Lil Nas X. He is out of commission for a while. And by the way, it's alleged that this was a psychotic break he had. There was no substances found in his system. So don't be surprised within a few years we see the same thing happening to Bad Bunny that we have Lil Nas X. I am now seeing trending videos by his fans stating that they loved him, but once they went to his concert, they felt like it was extremely demonic. After seeing what Ice Spice was doing at football games and seeing what Bad Bunny's all about, I don't know if I would be watching the NFL halftime show, you guys.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna watch it. And I enjoy, some Latina music, some Suavemente is one of my favorites. But you gotta admit, something's definitely fishy afoot. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. It's like, how's that saying go? You give them bread in a circus, the people will never revolt. Hey, but people getting tired and they waking up. Speaking about people getting tired, New Zealand protests and a counter protesters of the, Māori tribe performs the Haka dance. I love it when they be hitting that dance.
Okay, so this video is going viral out of New Zealand right now. This is the traditional Māori Haka dance. They're wearing shirts that say man up, and they're facing off with a church. And the comment or the caption was, men who produce their own testosterone still meet up with, or something like that. Watch this.
He's feeling it. I ain't gonna lie. He got tattoos. He looks like he might work out a little bit, but you can tell he's feeling it a little bit.
Okay, so I'll probably be one of the first to say it. I mean, the Haka dance is like haunting, man. If you came across the Māori tribe like 1,000 years ago and you're faced off with 1,000 big Samoan dudes, you back up, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, so this video is...
It gets me hype when I watch it. It's like, man, I wish I knew the moves, you know? Oh, Lord.
They got him. They got my dog, guys. They got him right in the pineal gland. What is that? I'm not going to say who. What is that? That's not the Randy Jackson I remember. This looks like a literal robot. I feel like Hollywood is playing Pokemon Go with all of their celebrities. Gotta catch 'em all. This is terrifying. This is a Randy Jackson I remember, full of life, full of personality. This isn't just about looks, guys, but how are we going from this to this? He doesn't look real, he doesn't feel real, and he acts nothing like himself. Like I said, this is the Randy Jackson I remember.
You know what? Yeah, I like this. Baby, a way to start it off, man. Yo, the competition's on. It's all right. It's all right.
And now this is the Randy Jackson we are getting.
Fantastic leafy green that I've grown to love. And trust me.
You know what comes to mind? What's that show? Get Out. That comes to mind. I still haven't watched it, but it comes to mind when I see y'all boy like this.
Trust me, I never will be a huge salad guy, but arugula is extra flavor.
You're telling me that Ozempic or a sugarless diet can completely remove someone's personality?
Okay, let's get...
I don't think so. What are they doing to the OGs of American Idol? They already got Ryan Seacrest, who again looks completely...
Are you kidding me? I haven't watched American Idol in like a decade. But, man, they got him looking like a Pleiadean, don't they? These look like two completely different people.
robotic. Simon Cowell is also trending for looking and acting unrecognizable. I'm really afraid to go check on Paula, to be honest with you. And I agree with this guy. What is going on in Hollywood, specifically with the OGs from American Idol?
I couldn't tell you, but if you had to ask me, it's something along the lines with Get Out. I don't know how what rituals they conjuring, what's going on, but something's going on. All right, we have echoing the unique water music from Torba province in the northern island of Vanatu inside the Blue Cave. Sorry if I'm butchering that name. I don't know if they got drummers around them or what, but if like they're able to make like an echo sound like a bass drum, that's kind of cool. If you guys know anything about that, please drop it in the comments below. Did they have a percussion and, you know, a drum behind the scenes, or was the water actually echoing that bass sound? Interesting. Almost like they're real life water bending in a way. Water sound bending. Speaking of Pleiadians, what do we have here?
Y'all ever wonder why when they depict extraterrestrial beings, their eyes are black? But this is because of our sun. When they come to our planet, our sun is too bright for their eyes, so they wear this protective coating over their eyes, which is like a contact lens. From their planet, they have a red dwarf star, which is not as bright. So when you see this, it's not their eye color. Think of it more like a contact lens. What y'all think about this? Y'all think this is real, or y'all think it's not? Let me know what y'all think.
It looks real. Like some I don't know if Hollywood special effects did this for a movie or what, but it looks interesting. He's got the Lorenzo stethoscope. Y'all be the judge. Is this real or fake? It's that time of the day again. If you thought I didn't have another excellent specimen for you today, think again. All right, this is a tourmaline. Really? A tourmaline, huh? Fascinating. Normally we see them in like a pinkish, orange hue color, but this is, yeah, it is a tourmaline. Okay, I see it. Man, this is fascinating. It says this is an old stock from 1969 tourmaline from the Santa Rosa mine. How do we go there and break off a couple for ourselves? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind one of these in my collection. I know they're going to hit you for a couple bands if you want one of these from a rock show. But yeah, this is a fascinating piece. I would like to see like some type of UV light hit it, maybe see the different colors dance inside of it. What would you guys name this specimen? Me, if I had to name this, I would call it Kryptonian. I would call it Kryptonite Tower. If I had to name this, I'll call it Kryptonite Tower. But what would you guys name it? It does kind of give like a Green Apple Jolly Rancher vibe as well.
This is a really big anhydro agate from Brazil, commonly known as a water agate. It's pretty cool because the water is still trapped inside. So we estimate it to be about 120 million years old. The water that is in there now is the water that's always been in there, and it's completely trapped in the very, very solid agate that surrounds it. But we've cut a thin layer of it, so when you wobble it, you can actually see the water move inside it. About 20 years ago, Rene bought one of these, knowing it was an anhydro agate, and cut it himself, collected the water out of it and drank it. Well, he's 89 years old now and still going strong. He's still a little bit crazy, so I don't know, maybe that's what did the job. Maybe it's like the fountain of youth inside this water agate.
Don't do that. And how she got a couple million years, I don't know. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. It was pretty cool seeing it jiggle though. How did they put it in this cave? Is the whole cave fake, and is this some type of museum somewhere? Oh yeah, it is fake. You can see the little museum-like platform. Man, it's been a minute since I went to a museum. What was the last museum you guys went to? I think I'm overdue for a Chicago Field Museum, to be honest. Way overdue for one of those. You know you gotta do both. You gotta go to the Field Museum, then you gotta go to the Shed Aquarium. It's impossible to fit them both in 2 days because the Field Museum is so big, but you can semi run through the Field Museum after the aquarium. Just bring your old food, because that food they got at the Shed, it ain't that great. It's all right, but it's overpriced from what I remember. The customer service was terrible when I went. I don't know if they made some changes, got some new management or something, but yeah, that just was my experience last time I went. Better yet, go get you some Chicago deep dish pizza or something, or a Chicago dog from, somewhere else. Save your appetite. If you got a pizza spot or a place you recommend a must try in Chicago, throw it in the comments. Give us a plug.
Jung discovered that spiritual awakening doesn't energize you, it empties you.
It's our boy Jung. Y'all remember the what was it? The spiritual awakening through narcissistic people? Man, that was a dive. I enjoyed that. I really did. But it looks like we got a little bit more information coming right at you, bucko.
After studying hundreds of patients who experienced spiritual breakthroughs, Jung found that 70% lost all motivation within months, not because they failed, but because they succeeded too well at seeing through life's illusions. Jung called this the awakening paradox, the moment when enlightenment becomes emptiness, when clarity becomes confusion, when spiritual success becomes psychological crisis. You thought awakening would set you on fire with purpose. Instead, it extinguished every flame that used to drive you. Right now, you might be lying in bed wondering why nothing matters anymore, why the goals that once excited you now feel hollow, why you can't summon the energy to care about anything, even though you're more conscious than you've ever been. But Jung discovered something that changes everything. This emptiness isn't a spiritual failure. It's a psychological necessity. And there's a specific process for transforming this void into the deepest source of authentic motivation you've ever experienced. Here's what's at stake. Everything you thought you knew about motivation, purpose, and spiritual growth. You've been told that awakening leads to bliss, that consciousness brings clarity, that enlightenment ignites passion. But Jung discovered the opposite is true. The more you awaken, the more you realize that every goal you've been chasing was an illusion. Every motivation you've had was rooted in ego, fear, or social conditioning. Every dream you've pursued was someone else's definition of success projected onto your life. Jung found that spiritual awakening forces you into what he called the nigredo, the blackening phase where your old self dies, but your new self hasn't been born yet.
Interesting. You know, there's times I feel drained, but I will testify every single time that I'm feeling drained and I think about the prophets and I think about what Yah did for us, it's like a fire inside me starts lighting up, you know, and it just charges me up. It's like energy out of nowhere. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. I call it the Ruach. So if you're ever feeling down, you know, and no energy, man, that's what I do, by the way. That's what works for me.
What if I told you that there was a company called Palantir, and their entire existence was to hear your whispers so they could predict what you would do next?
I would believe you 100%.
Now, what if I told you it was backed by the founder of PayPal and the CIA? What if I told you Palantir was quietly connected to your bank statements, social media, medical records, and a lot more? Then what if I told you their entire purpose was to understand and blueprint your life so they could predict exactly what you do next? If you want to know what that's
It's getting kind of scary, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. That's a lot of information they have.
It's called behavior surveillance, like that grocery receipt from the time you went to the store at 11 p.m. We can't forget about that sudden change in your jogging pattern outside. They won't. Or your 3 a.m. Google search. You see, Palantir sends your personality anomalies directly to the government because you unknowingly gave them that right in the terms and agreements that you didn't read. Palantir isn't just surveillance, it's predictive governance. Control the data, control the decisions. Well, at that point, you can basically control anyone without them knowing that you're doing so. Palantir wasn't profitable for the first 17 years, and now their net worth is the same as Bank of America. And like I said, you gave them this ability when you did terms and agreements and didn't read it, gym memberships, and most of the smart devices that are in your home. Palantir is no longer a company. It is now a digital nervous system that takes care of the oh so fragile and insecure American people. The next time your thoughts shift or a news cycle tells you what to believe, ask yourself, is this really my decision? What if I told you that there was a company called
That is terrifying.
After watching this video about barcodes, you will never look at them the same way again. And you'll go check this out for yourself. Look at any item in your home that has a barcode and you'll see it. This is shocking.
I find it extremely interesting that the UPC barcode, as designed in 1973, was coincidentally designed around the number 666.
Universal Product Codes, or UPCs, are found on almost every store product today. These codes allow the cashier to scan the item into the computer instead of entering the price manually. Every UPC is made up of numbers and bars. The bars themselves also have a numerical value. Notice that the bars on the left, in the middle, and on the right of the code do not have numerical values underneath them. However, the other bars all do. So by comparing these three bars at the beginning, the middle, and the end with numbered bars, it is clear that those dividing bars always represent the number 6.
Wow, that is true. Look, this is just a bar I have in front of me. Look, you got the 2 on the end, on the near the 7, and then you got 2 near the 5. And look, you got 2 6s in there. I wonder if every single barcode has 2 6s. Let me look at this old one I got. Wow, 2 6s. 666. Let me find another one. This can't be real. Now this is a book I got next to me, and here's a barcode, and it does not have 2 6s, but it does have the 2 on each side. Maybe this only applies to food. It has the 2 near the 9, and then the 2 barcodes near the 3. So this might only be for food and drink. Damn, I want to go grab a bag of chips or something upstairs just to make sure, but check the food you guys got and see if this works.
Even though it's not apparent visibly to anyone who looks at it, there is a mathematical representation there of the number 666.
The book of Revelation tells us that in the last days, no one will be able to buy or to sell without the number 666. Despite the protests of industry insiders who claim that it is all just a coincidence, the fact is that virtually every product sold in the world today is sold with the number 666.
After watching this video about barcodes, you will never look at them the same way again.
I timed it right to stop it at the barcode he showed us, and yeah, I do see the 2 6s, the 2 in the middle, 2 on the end, and 2 there. So it might really work with food, but for books, it did not pop up. Make it make sense. St. Augustine Church, Brooklyn. I was smacking AI up and down trying to figure out who built these, man, on the live.
St. Augustine. Castle, church, built in 1897? Or were there more lies? What was going on in there? The bells that people speak of that aren't there anymore?
Here's a crazy story. I actually visited a old structure like this, and they said that I have the video hidden somewhere. Honestly, I have to find it. But it was like bats. It was like a frequency that was coming off of the building, and bats just were like circling it. Like it was about like 30 bats that just kept circling the old world structure. And the groundskeeper that was in charge of the building showed it to me, because I'm like, man, I'm trying to go up here. I want to go up here. This is what I was referring to, that building. I want to see what's going on in here. And they said, oh, we just can't let anybody up there. We got to contact the groundskeeper. I'm like, well, how do we contact the groundskeeper? I get a hold of the groundskeeper, and he told me that story. And then they started asking me questions like, who are you? What do you got going on? And then I never went back. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see the building upstairs. You know, but another way you can access these is a drone. That's your boy need to get a drone because you can fly it all through there, you know, see what's really going on up there and come out.
Look at those metal structures on top. What were they trying to extract from the sky? Make it make sense. 1897. This thing is monstrous. Make it make sense. Look at this thing. Look at this thing.
This is one of the nicer buildings I've seen. I'm not gonna lie. Did you see the glass work? Yeah, look at the glass work. Does she have like a no face? It looks like a black face, or maybe it's just not dark enough. Interesting. And then look at this sunroom, whatever this is called. Man, they cared.
Look at this thing. 1897. What was missing right there and right there? What's missing? I know, that was at the churches in Maine and a lot of churches. 1897. You just accept this? Oh, they cleaned it. They maintain it. Maintenance isn't the issue. It's building this in 1897 with horses. Make it make sense. Come on, Brooklyn. And that's on the side street I just came from that I'm looking at the roof. I know they can just do like a little attention to details, but if it was a castle, wouldn't that be like a good hiding spot with a bow or some sort of weapon to hide? What is that over there? More weird. What is that? A sheep? A lamb? A book? Make it make sense. More creepy things. What was that up there? Make it make sense.
An angel blowing the trumpet. Fascinating. That's all we got for today's video. If you made it this far, the code word is Tuesday Banger. Go ahead and hit me with the Tuesday Banger in the comments below. When you do that, that lets me know you're a real one. You actually watch my videos to the end. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support. I really love you guys, and I just can't thank you guys enough. Again, if you missed the live yesterday, I'm going to drop it in the comments below so you can see the entire thing. If you don't mind me stopping and talking to the audience because it was a live, then go ahead and check that out. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you later.